Well, a very good morning from Phuket, and today I've got a busy day planned. We're starting off down here on Kata's beach. We've come down to take Shadow a little walk. It's not been too bad today, actually. It started off very cloudy, but it's starting to get some blue sky. A lot of people out surfing already. The waves, reasonable, not massive, but there is a little bit of a swell. So we're going to have a wander along the beach, and then after we've done that, we are going to be making our way to a beach that I've not visited before. Let me take this mask off because there's nobody around me at the moment. I only came across this beach by accident. It's called Nui Beach, not to be confused with Nui Beach. It's between Nai Harn and Karon. I haven't personally visited the beach before, so you will be able to see this beach if you haven't seen it before, experience exactly the same as me, because as I say, I didn't even know it existed until a week ago, and we stumbled across it purely by accident. So we will be taking a look at that very, very soon. But first, let's go and enjoy Kata's beach while we've got blue skies. As I say, the weather's not too bad. It's been nice. Yesterday was a lovely day, really, really nice. Blue sky all day, very little wind. Today, there's a bit of wind, and slowly the blue sky is coming back, but they're forecasting the weather is going to change over the next few days and we're going to start having more rain. Now, I know I haven't been around a lot lately. As I said, the position over here isn't really improving a great deal. It's very, very slow, so it makes it difficult for me to find content that doesn't relate to the ongoing position all the time. Of course, the position is here. I'm going to keep people informed, but I don't want to fill my channel up with what I call doom and gloom videos. I'm getting tired of doing them myself, as I mentioned on my Facebook group, so I want to bring you something else. So I'm working on a few projects at the moment. I've got one that I don't want to mention just yet, but I am doing filming for it, but it's going to take me a little while to put it together because this one isn't my normal vlog stuff. I'm going for a little bit of a different style, so I'm going to mix the two styles, a vlogging style where I do a lot more commentary, this sort of thing, and then something a little bit more glamorous, shall we say, something with some nice shots and a lot less commentary. So I'm working on that project, on a project for my first one, and in between I want to also bring you some vlog stuff. So we're going to go and take a look at the beach, this Nui Beach as it's called. Of course, I will put all the details down in the description, so go and check that out where the location is. And if you want to see the journey to it, you can check out my other channel, which is Riding with Tony, and I'm starting to do some work with that because of course the ongoing position isn't allowing me to do that much on my Thailand Tony channel. I'm having to try and find things that are not always relating, as I say, to the ongoing position. So I'm doing a little bit of work with my other channel as well, so I've been doing some filming for that this morning. I've done the journey down here, so people can see that if you want to go and check that out. But for now, let's have a look at Kata Beach today. Now, of course, I've covered this beach many, many times. No matter what the weather, this is a beautiful beach to come and check out. Forgot to bring my hat this morning and my glasses. It's actually quite sunny now. Shadow over there, very eager this morning to get out. She knows the days. She knows on a Tuesday, day off, she normally goes to one of the beaches or down the park. We try to vary it so she doesn't get bored. Not that busy down here. One or two people, not that many. A few surfers. Well, we've just arrived at Nui Beach. I haven't personally visited this beach before. In fact, I didn't know about it until just over a week ago that it was even here. If you're interested in knowing where Nui Beach is and you don't know where it is, you can check out the description below, or you can check out my other channel because I've just done a video coming from Shillong to Nui Beach, so that will help you find this beach. You can see the sign in front of us there. I've parked the bike here. I've just noticed a car coming up the trail, but as I haven't been down this trail before, I would prefer to leave the bike where I've parked it until I've seen what's down here, because I don't want to get the bike stuck at the bottom of a hill and can't get up it or something silly, because it's the first time. So you're going to see this beach for the first time if you haven't seen it before, the same as me. There's a motorbike coming up here, so I would imagine it's fairly easy to come up and down, but it's not the greatest of tracks, as you could probably see in front of me. When it rains, obviously the rain water washes the track away, and it's not ideal. So if you're going to come down here on your bike, then you need to be careful. Definitely be careful. As I've mentioned, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across here and get onto this bit of concrete, because that's going to give me a bit of grip rather than walking down that mud and shale. Oh, okay, there's a car transfer, Nat was saying. I don't know. Have you been here before? No. How do you know that then? Is it? Oh, right, okay, so it's in Thai, is it? Okay, so there's a Thai guy will bring you down here. Motorbike or car? A car. Okay, that might have been the car that's coming up here. So he's going up and down here all the time. If you prefer not to walk down, I don't know how far it is. It could be quite a way, because we are really at the top of the hill by Kata. As I say, I will post the location in the description down below, or you can have a watch of the video and that will show you the entrance where exactly Nui Beach is. But for now, I'm going to shut up because I need to watch where I'm walking, because already I can see that this trail is not that great for walking down, even though I haven't put my flip-flops on, because I tend not to wear my flip-flops when I'm coming to places I don't know, because they can be quite dangerous and very slippy on surfaces like this. However, I've got my trainers on, and as you've just seen, they are also slippy as well. So I need to watch what I'm doing. I'm holding a camera, not concentrating. I can find myself sitting on the floor very quickly if I'm not careful. Just look at that road there. Wow, getting some water. Right, yeah, it's quite steep here. Not much grip. Wow, the sun had disappeared at one point, but it seems now, the minute we've arrived here, it's come back out and it's getting quite warm. We visited something the other day. I don't want to say exactly what, because that's what I'm working on at the moment, a project that I'm working on. And the trail going up to it was just really narrow in the jungle. So that's a little bit worrying when it's so narrow, because you've got to watch what's on the ground, as I've mentioned before, especially when there's not many people around and it's very quiet. You know, obviously the wildlife's about, it's not being disturbed by people, so you do have to keep an eye on the ground for snakes and things like that, just in case they happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But this is definitely a better trail. It's a bit more open, you can see what the trail is like. Wow, look at the view. Wow, beautiful view from here. Looking forward to seeing this beach. Now, I'm not quite sure whether this is a private beach, because when I looked on Google, I did notice some people had said it was a private beach, and if it's a private beach, I don't know whether you're going to have to pay to come on here. I wouldn't have thought so at the moment. Obviously in high season that may change. The people own it want to charge, but I don't know that it is a private or a public beach. We shall see once we get down here. I can hear a motorbike coming down. Okay, we can't be too far away from it. Somebody's come down in a car and parked on the side. Personally, I don't think it's wise to bring a car down here, especially if it's a rental car. If it gets damaged, you're going to be responsible to pay for it, and the road's not great. Let's have a look at that. You can see the trail there going up. It's not really bad, but personally, if you're up to it, I would walk down here, and then you haven't got to worry about the car, because if you get it stuck or damaged, same with the motorbike. If you hire a bike and you're coming down here and you come off it and you damage the bike, you're going to be responsible for it. And there are some, well, just check out the road there. You know, if you coming down here for the first time and you don't know the road, then you need to be extremely careful, because if you happen to hit the wrong place and it fetches you off the bike, you're going to be responsible for the damage, if any damage on the bike. Plus you might hurt yourself as well. Some beautiful scenery on the way down to Nui Beach, but we're not quite there yet. We've got a sign here. It says 400 meters. It's quite a way down, to be honest. I would say from the top to Nui Beach is at least 1.5k walking. So a fair old way. Definitely don't recommend you bringing a vehicle down here unless you're really confident, because the road is not great at all. Still not there. We've just come to this part here. It looks like they're just starting to concrete the track, because in places it's quite bad. Definitely don't suggest walking down here without a hat. I'm glad I got my hat today, because the sun is really beating down at the moment, and it's a bit of a way, to be honest. A bit of a way. Nat doesn't look very happy having to walk all the way down here, but as I said to Nat, when we come to somewhere we haven't been before, I don't know the track, we start coming down here on the bike. Should I make the wrong decision and come off the bike, it's going to damage the bike, and then we're going to have to pay for the bike to be repaired. 100 baht per person. So you've got to pay for entrance onto the beach. Using the service fees for using the utilities in the beach area of Nui. Well, where do you pay this then? Nui Beach is a public beach. Everyone can access. Service fees for using the beach club facilities. Cost for staff, cleaning, maintenance. Yeah, but I'm not going to be using that. So let's go and ask. I'm not using the services. It's a public beach then, so there you go. There is a sign saying you've got to pay 100 baht, but that is if you use the beach club, whatever they're calling it, for the services, for the amenities. I'm not going to be using that, so hopefully we're not going to have to pay, because one, I haven't bought any cash with me, because as far as I was aware it's a public beach and I don't need any cash. We have got our phones on us, and of course everything you pay now online, mainly the banking apps here in Thailand. They now have all this scanning stuff, so you can make payments on your phone. But I don't really want to be paying 200 baht just to go onto a beach to film it, especially in the current climate. So we will have to wait and see. I'll let you know if they're going to make us pay just to go on the beach. It's supposed to be a public beach, so there shouldn't be a payment if you're only going on the beach. But it's worth bearing in mind if you come in here. If you want to use the clubhouse or whatever they're calling their services, then you will have to pay. If you don't use the clubhouse, then you shouldn't have to pay. Okay, so I'm just going to film from up here before we go all the way down, and then see what they say when we get to the bottom. It looks nice, I must admit. Okay, let's make our way down. So I'm glad I've got Nat with me. She can have a conversation in Thai should they start to say, oh, you got to pay. She can explain that we're only going on the beach, not using any other facilities. Now 100 baht isn't that expensive, to be fair. It's quite reasonable, I guess, if you're going to use the facilities. 100 baht's not too bad, but at the moment for us things are very, very tight. In fact, August has been the worst month for us since we've had a business here on the island in over 10 years. We have had a terrible August. It's now the start of September. Our profits are way, way down. Customers are virtually non-existent. So money is extremely tight for us. So I don't personally want to be paying 200 baht to access a public beach. Okay, well, it looks nice. Few people down here. Nice. So let's go down this way. They must have a restaurant here as well, I would imagine, doing some food. So you're going to be able to get yourself something to eat and drink. Scotty Cap. Nat, do you want to have a word with this gentleman? We're just going on the beach.
Yeah?
We just go on the beach.
No, maybe that is. Are they Thai people?
Yeah, she Thai.
เดี๋ยวต้องไอ้นั่นค่าไอ้นี่คนละ100 บาท
เราต้องจ่ายคนละ100
ใช่ครับเพราะว่าที่นี่เป็นที่ส่วนตัวแต่ผมว่ามันเป็นตัวที่เราให้ได้ฟรีนั่นคือได้เลยที่ไอ้100เนี่ยมันเข้ามาในที่
You say we have to pay one person 100 baht.
Why?
Hotel,
This public beach, yes?
When you think public, you go, the bus come. The bus, the land, my land. I
Okay.
make everything. The sunbed free, everything free, shower free. Every day morning, I have staff clean with garbage very much.
อ๋อ นี่เป็นของพี่เองเลย
ถูกต้อง เพราะฉะนั้น100 บาทเนี่ยเราเมคทำเก้าอี้ทำอะไรต่างๆให้ทำที่ไหน
Let people to come and then can sit and then people share.
Yeah, I understand what he's saying, but I'm only using the beach. I'm not using any of the facilities. I'm not using the sunbeds. I've just come down here to film the beach.
Then did him beach,
Huh?
private beach.
It's his beach.
Him the owner.
Of the land, not of the beach. It's a public beach. So there you go. You can see that to access Nui Beach, you're going to have to pay. You can't come here. He's saying you're going to have to come via a boat. And obviously you have to pay for the boat to get to the Nui Beach. So you're not going to have access to a public beach without paying either via a boat or paying to come across the land. Okay, well, unfortunately, the guy who owns the land is not willing to budge. He wants to charge us 100 baht each to go onto the beach, even though it's a public beach, because he's saying we're crossing his land, so he has the right to charge us. So we're not going to go on there because, as I've just mentioned, for us, I don't want to be paying 200 baht. I know 200 baht is not a great deal of money, of course, but at the moment it is for us because August, a terrible month. We don't know what September's going to be like, so I don't want to spend to go on to something that I shouldn't have to spend. If I'm using his facilities, then fine, but I'm not. All I want to do is film the beach, but that's not going to happen. So there you go. You have it yourself. If you're going to come to Nui Beach, you need to make sure that you're willing to pay. If not, then there's plenty of other beaches here on the island of Phuket that are free. Okay, well, that was a bit unfortunate. We're halfway back, going back up the hill. Both myself and Nat down there, she's absolutely knackered. We're both tired. Now, it's not purely a money thing for me, it's the principle. I don't believe that you should have to pay to go onto a public beach. I understand the fact that we are crossing somebody's land to get to the public beach, but as I was just saying to Nat, the guy's not content with making money out of the restaurant because he's got a restaurant down there. Obviously, if you're going to trek all the way down here, 1.5 kilometres, you're not going to go all the way back up because there's no shops round here. You're not going to go all the way back up to the shops to get yourself a drink or whatever the case may be. More than likely, you would use his restaurant. So, to me, he should make the access to the beach free, but of course, using his restaurant, he got nowhere else to go, so he's going to get money back through that. I would have quite happily sat in his restaurant and bought a couple of drinks. That wouldn't have been a problem, but to expect somebody to pay to go on a public beach, I don't think that's right, and I certainly don't want to be spending money to go on a beach that should be free. Well, I just want to add a couple of final thoughts into the video that I forgot to do yesterday, because as you probably noticed, I was a little bit peeved having just walked down a very steep hill, 1.5 kilometres, with no signs at the top to indicate there would be any charges once I got to the beach. I realised there was transportation available, so I didn't have to walk down the hill. I could have took the transportation. However, the transportation wasn't free. You guessed it, 100 baht per person at the moment, of course. And then when you got to the beach, you saw yourselves the sign saying that if you wished to access the amenities and services, there would be a charge. No mention of crossing the land charge because it is supposed to be a public beach. But of course, you saw in the video when I said to the owner that I didn't wish to use any of the services or amenities that he was offering. I just simply wanted to go on the beach and do a little bit of filming. He then changed it to, well, you need to pay 100 baht to cross his land. Now, what I don't understand is how you can have something as a public beach, but there is no public access. Now, I know in the UK it's different to Thailand, and I'm not quite sure how it works over here as regards these sort of matters, but in the UK, if something is designated as public access, there has to be a public right of way, regardless of who owns the land. So if something, for example, a trail, there's lots of trails, public trails in the UK that crosses farmers' land, the farmers have to allow public right of way. As long as the public are on that right of way, they are allowed to access it with no charge, and the farmer is not allowed to stop them access. Now, of course, I don't know whether it's the same here in Thailand, but I don't understand how you can call something a public beach that has no public access. The other thing I'd like to say is, of course, if you do decide to go to Nui Beach, then just bear in mind, if you're going as a family, say a family of 4, and you've got some younger children, you're certainly not going to want to walk down that hill that you saw and then have to walk all the way back up. You're going to need some transportation, of course, if you don't want to take your own, and there is some available, but that's going to cost you 100 baht per person. So a family of 4, that's 400 baht just to get to the beach, and then to go onto the beach you're going to pay another 400 baht, and this is before you've had any drinks or food, of course. So 800 baht for 5 minutes work, not a bad little earner. But he's got the control over the land, I understand that, and he doesn't want people crossing his land unless they're willing to pay. So you have to decide yourselves, if you want to come to Nui Beach, whether you want to pay the 100 baht. In my opinion, there should be a sign at the very top saying there's a 100 baht entrance, so people know the score before they walk all the way down here, or come all the way down here, only to find out you've got to pay to go on it. I mean, at the moment it's 100 baht. In high season, how much it's going to be? Again, that's down to the owner's discretion. So for me personally, I believe that it should be free to go on there, and then of course if you want to use the amenities, the restaurant, drinks, food, etc., then you're going to have a charge, and you're going to have to pay whatever he charges for his drinks and food, which is fine. So we're now going to make our way back up this trail. Now Lat's had a bit of a rest, and I've had one. I'm pouring a sweat, to be honest, because it's very hot today. So it's a bit of a wasted trek down, but at least I know I can report back and let you know. Nui Beach, is it a good beach? Well, I never actually got on the beach. There are some photos on places like Google that you can have a look at, and it does look a lovely beach, I'll be honest. And the owners spoke to Nat, saying he has somebody clean the beach every day, and it makes sure all the facilities are good. But of course that's in his own interest anyway, because he's making money from it. What it means is I've got to pay to go on a public beach, and I'm not over keen on doing that. There's enough pay beaches here in Phuket, and there's plenty of beaches that are free to go on that are beautiful beaches. So why have to pay to go on a beach? Yes, pay for food, pay for drink, no problem. Whatever he wants to charge for that, that is up to him, because he's got the monopoly down there. People that come here are not going to go somewhere else, but they're not only having to pay for the food and drink, they're having to pay for going on the beach as well. So it's down to you whether you want to come to Nui Beach or not. But for me, not now. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this shorter than anticipated video. And until the next time, I'll catch you on the next one.